आदिकाल से ही भारत को एक सर्वश्रेष्ठ राष्ट्र का दर्जा दिया गया है। यह इसलिए क्योंकि भारत की राजनीतिक एवं सांस्कृतिक धरोहर के सभी कायल रह चुके हैं। इसलिए हमें आज भी एक भारत सर्वश्रेष्ठ भारत के नारे सुनाई दे रहे हैं। Keeping this notion in mind, we, the students of SRDA Public School of grade 12, were assigned history projects related to different themes in the Indian history. And today, I, Soumya Mishra, am going to share my experience on conducting a research on the topic, Ashoka and the decline of the Mauryas.
To get a brief idea about the time period and the geography of my topic, I first consulted my NCERT textbook.
After developing a basic idea, my next step was to move for sources. So I consulted first the primary sources and then the secondary sources.
We know a great deal about the Mauryan king Ashoka owing to the abundance of sources found. The archaeological evidences like the sculptures and number of Ashokan inscriptions, the ancient Buddhist texts like Ashokvadana, Divyavadana, and of course the architectural marvels issued in his period.
The thing that excites me the most about the Ashokan inscriptions is that the variety of languages used in these inscriptions. He issued inscriptions in Kharoshthi in the northwest region of Afghanistan because people there were more comfortable with the script of Kharoshthi. Here in the mainland of central India, he issued his scripts in Brahmi, and that too in the language of Pali and Prakrit, the common language of the people. So his main intention was to build up a dialogue, a one-on-one conversation with himself and his subjects, unlike the other kings who issued inscriptions by a third person.
James Prinsep is credited to decipher Brahmi. I read carefully the translation of some of the prominent Ashokan inscriptions and their contents. It was a great fun to learn the script of Brahmi, and I even wrote a few verses in it. It struck my mind that the ancient scripts were devised in such a way that they were easier to engrave on the hard surfaces of rocks. His lion capital is one such marvel, which is even adopted as the national emblem of India.
The next, I took a note about the ancient Buddhist literature texts that mention about Ashoka. This was so because Ashoka was deeply influenced by Buddhism. So that he appointed Dhamma Mahamatas to propagate his message of Dhamma. But my main intention was to find out whether this propagation of Buddhism was just of spirituality or it was more of a political cooperation between the Sangha and Ashoka.
Ashoka distributed the relics of Buddha and installed a number of stupas. This was probably to increase the tourism revenue by inviting a number of Buddhist pilgrims from across the world.
Next, I looked for the works of renowned authors about the same topic, just to get an idea of the different interpretations.
I read Rumla Thapar's work on Ashoka and the decline of the Mauryas, Upinder Singh's book on ancient and early medieval India, and a number of other books and sites such as Britannica.com.
After reading these books and seeing different interpretations and forming that of my own,
I enlisted all the popping questions in my mind as the objectives of my research.
The basic motive of this research was to develop a historical understanding. As human beings, we cannot be totally objective. It's as impossible as saying that you turn your head to 360 degrees, which is impossible. So, all we try is to raise the level of objectivity. So I examine, re-examine all my facts, then form the interpretations and then draft it all down. This journey couldn't be possible without the help of my parents and the guidance of my history teacher. The whole journey of conducting a research has elevated my respect towards history and widened my approach towards history. I hope that at the end, all the efforts that I've put into the research paper will be fruitful to the younger generations. Thank you so much.